Valentine's Day used to be my favorite holiday. Yes, I know it's commercial, cheesy, overpriced, blah, blah, but I loved it. I loved dedicating one whole day to romantic gestures, to showing my partner how much I cared. That year was supposed to be special. My boyfriend, Ryan, and I had been together for almost 3 years. We met in grad school, bonded over late night study sessions, bad coffee, and mutual sarcasm. He wasn't flashy, but he had this quiet steadiness that made me feel safe. For someone like me, who grew up with divorced parents constantly at war, safety was everything. Valentine's Day fell on a Tuesday, but I'd planned it out like a military operation. I took the day off work, decorated our apartment with candles and fairy lights, and cooked his favorite dinner, mushroom risotto with garlic bread and a bottle of Chianti I'd been saving. I even bought him a new leather watch he'd been eyeing. He, meanwhile, told me he had something planned, but he was vague. He said he might get off work late because of a project. I brushed it off. Ryan wasn't great at surprises, and I didn't want to spoil the magic by nagging. By 6 p.m., the table was set, the food was warming in the oven, and I was in a red dress he once said made me look like a walking Valentine. My heart was pounding with anticipation. 6:30. No Ryan. 7. No Ryan. Text read, but not answered. By 7:30, I was pacing. By 8 o'clock, I was crying into the Chianti. Finally, at 8:45, the door clicked open. Ryan stumbled in, smelling faintly of perfume that definitely wasn't mine. His shirt was wrinkled, his hair mussed. He froze when he saw the candles, the table, me in my dress. He said, "Oh." Just, "Oh." Something inside me snapped. I wish I could say I calmly asked him where he'd been. Instead, I exploded. "Do you even realize what today is?" I shouted. "Do you see all of this? Do you care at all?" He looked cornered, like a kid caught stealing cookies. "I'm sorry, work ran late. Don't lie to me." That's when I saw it. Guilt, flickering across his face. His eyes darted away, his jaw clenched. It wasn't work. I pressed harder. "Who is she?" Ryan went pale. "What?" "Don't play dumb. You smell like perfume, your shirt's wrinkled, and you can't even look at me. Who is she?" For a moment, I thought he'd deny it, but then his shoulders slumped and the truth spilled out. Her name was Claire. She worked at his office. They've been hanging out after work for weeks. It started as drinks, then turned into dinners, and on Valentine's Day of all days, he'd gone to her apartment instead of coming home to me. "I don't know why I did it," he mumbled. "It just happened." The words hit me like physical blows. "It just happened?" I repeated. "You just happened to go to another woman's apartment on Valentine's Day?" He winced. "I didn't mean for it to—" "Stop." My voice was cold. "You meant every choice you made tonight." Silence. Only the sound of the oven timer beeping in the background, reminding me that the risotto was ready. In that moment, something in me shattered. The man I trusted most had chosen someone else on the one day meant to celebrate us. The next hours blurred together. I screamed, I cried, I told him to get out. He begged me to listen, said it was a mistake, swore it didn't mean anything. But I couldn't hear him. All I could see was the image of him in another woman's arms while I waited at home in my red dress. He left that night with a duffel bag. I didn't sleep. I sat at the table, staring at the untouched food until the candles melted into puddles of wax. The days that followed were a haze. He texted nonstop, apologies, explanations, promises. I ignored them all. Then came the email, long, rambling, full of excuses about stress, temptation, how he still loved me. But love doesn't look like betrayal on Valentine's Day. Friends told me I should at least hear him out. My mom, who'd been cheated on by my dad, told me once a cheater, always a cheater. My best friend brought over ice cream and wine and said, "You deserve better." End of story. The hardest part wasn't the anger, it was the grief. I grieved the future I thought we'd have, trips we'd planned, the dog we wanted to adopt, even the silly idea of celebrating Valentine's Days as an old married couple. Ryan tried for months. He sent flowers, wrote letters, even showed up outside my apartment once. But every time I looked at him, I remembered that night, the way he walked in, smelling of her perfume, while I stood surrounded by candles I'd lit for him. Eventually, I blocked his number. He moved out of state for a new job. I haven't seen him since. Valentine's Day still hurts. For years, I couldn't look at red roses or heart-shaped boxes without feeling sick. But over time, I learned something important. Betrayal says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. I wasn't unworthy. I wasn't lacking. I gave him everything, and he threw it away. That's on him. This year, I celebrated Valentine's Day with friends. We cooked dinner, drank too much wine, and laughed until our cheeks hurt. It wasn't romantic, but it was real. And for the first time since that awful night, I felt whole again. Because love, real love, doesn't come with lies, perfume stains, and excuses. It comes with honesty, respect, and the kind of safety Ryan could never give me. And that's the Valentine's gift I finally gave myself: freedom.